So there's a question that says, with the valuation of crypto being so volatile, is it realistic that can ever be used as a form of currency, right? Or a medium of exchange? And this is something that's fascinating. There's a great book. If anybody ever wants to read it, there's a lot of technical stuff in it, but boy, it's fascinating. It's called The Bitcoin Standard, and it's like 10 or 12 chapters long, and there's only 2 chapters about Bitcoin. But what it does is it really educates you on the money side of things and really what gives money its value. See, back in the day, they used to use seashells. And in fact, they explained the stock to flow model in that as well, because thing about seashells that wash up on the shore, you only get so many seashells so often until somebody who thinks they're smart and brave gets a boat and says, I'll just go out into the ocean. I'll dive deep. And then eventually there was boats that could go farther out with little scoops. So now you can acquire all the seashells you want. And once they did that, it completely deflated the value of seashells. It was no longer used as a currency. And most people don't even realize we're so far removed. Most people have no idea that seashells were even used as a currency. But one of the original creation use cases for Bitcoin was literally to be used as a currency, as a medium of exchange. And in May of 2011, there is, well, in May of every year, I think it's May 22nd, every single year is known as Bitcoin Pizza Day. And in 2011, there was a guy who exchanged 10,000 Bitcoin for 2 pizzas. Now, why in the world would he consider giving that many Bitcoin? Well, you got to remember, that was only worth like 40, 50 bucks at the time. But what's fascinating, what's more important than that, is it was the first transaction as a medium of exchange. That someone else is saying, I'm willing to see value in this thing and be willing to take it as payment for my product, and which happened to be pizza, right? And then that person could take that 10,000 Bitcoin and they could keep them. Or they could just go to an exchange and they could sell it for any currency that they want, right? Just like you could go to a currency exchange today and trade your Japanese yen for US dollar or Mexican peso or whatever it is. You're just simply exchanging Bitcoin in this case for your currency, right? And so when we look at it, one of the brilliant parts about Bitcoin is that it was designed as gold, right? So it could maintain its store of value, and we could ensure its valuation over years by having this infrastructure of having the rewards every 4 years. It's roughly every 4 years. The other piece is the divisible piece, right? What makes gold hard as a transactional currency is literally the idea that you can't walk in, like I said, and chip something off and be like, I want to pay for this soda, right? It's not divisible easily, right? Yes, you can melt it down. Yes, you can make smaller coins, but it's not there, right? Also, with the technology age, the convenience factor of you always have your phone, which means you always have your wallet, makes it a lot easier, right? We're already seeing a massive trend in Apple Pay and Venmo and PayPal and all this other stuff. So we're going that direction, and Bitcoin is absolutely used as a medium of exchange today. In fact, I carry a debit card in my wallet that is attached to my Bitcoin account, and if they don't accept Bitcoin from my phone, I can't just pay directly to their wallet. If I wanted to, I could pull out my wallet and I could swipe my card and it will take it from my Bitcoin account, right? And so there's already pieces in the works to be able to accept it as to be used as a currency or as a medium of exchange. And there's a lot of other cryptos as well that's really their entire focus, is they really want to be a currency. And really the easy way to get to that point is to focus on how many transactions per second can you do, right? What made Visa so big is they were processing way more transactions per second than anybody else could ever do. And so it really helped to rise them up as a company, MasterCard as well, obviously, right? And so there's a lot of these that say, all right, how many transactions a second can Bitcoin do? Well, okay, it's only this many, right? It's a handful, right? But what about Ethereum, or what about whatever? Hedera Hashgraph is a great company. They've got a token called HBARs. And one of the things that they're kind of focusing on is they can handle like millions of transactions a second, I think. I mean, they really are trying to view it from that standpoint of, hey, this is like an asset that we can trade for anything, right? And you can even do micropayments, right? Let's say that you're an artist, you're an artist and you're playing the guitar and you're singing a song, you make a song and then you put it up on the internet. Well, if I go and I listen to that song, you should get paid for that. And if I listen to that song for 7 seconds instead of the whole song, because like on Spotify you get compensated for listening to the whole song, or I think it's at least 30 seconds. Well, if I only listen to 5 seconds or 10 seconds, you don't get paid. But with an infrastructure like Hashgraph and some of this other stuff, you might be able to receive a micro payment because I did technically listen to 5 seconds of your song. So we're even starting to monetize some things that aren't monetized to this day. And people like artists and musicians and all kinds of different things, you can get compensated for your time or your skill or whatever it is.